Good morning. This is Robert from the Breathable Body on Friday, March 13th. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about my particular perspective on breathing the coronavirus as we see it in the world today. Getting more information each day, and now we are able to test and see that when the coronavirus is put out into the atmosphere, into the air, it can last up to 3 hours as droplets in the air. So we need to be even more cautious about where we're spending our time. But really what is most interesting to me is the fact that the social media and all the news reporting, no one is speaking about breathing and the style of breathing and how breathing is our first line of defense in our immune system. How we take air into our body is the most important aspect of our breathing. We can either take it in through our noses, or we can take it in through our mouths. I'm going to state right here that the guardian of the lungs is the nose. The nose accomplishes many, many biological and physiological functions that treat the air before it enters the lungs that you don't get when you breathe through your mouth directly. The common ones are that it humidifies, creates enough moisture to the air so that the lungs are not receiving dry air. It controls the temperature of the air that the lungs receive, and the lungs like body temperature air. And it filters. It's a great filter. It can filter 0.5 microns and above, which is quite small. The human hair is 50 microns. Unfortunately, it doesn't filter smoke, and it doesn't filter the virus. But if the virus comes in contact with the nose, perhaps, and we don't know this yet, some of the conditioning that the nose provides may have some way of delivering it to the lungs in a different fashion than when we breathe it directly into our mouths. So I think what's needed out there is some education about to use our breathing to build our immune system, to keep it strong rather than deteriorating. Another aspect of this is the emotional aspect. We're all pretty scared right now, don't feel like we can trust the air that we breathe. Creates a fair bit of anxiety and a fair bit of nervousness and worry. And when we breathe with nervousness and worry, we tend to breathe high up in our chest, and we tend to reinforce our anxiety by also gasping and sighing and complaining, perhaps, and oh my God, isn't this terrible? And so we take a lot of air in through our mouths in those ways. And so when we take air in through our mouths in those ways, we also breathe high in the chest, which perpetuates our anxiety. So I'm just offering this really basic, simple idea that you want to use your nose as much as you possibly can for breathing. So I hope you're noticing that while I'm talking, when I run out of air, the sentence I want to say, I close my mouth and I take a breath through my nose. So giving my air that's coming in a chance to get conditioned for the lungs, as well as it gives me a moment to relax back into my own breathing, my own biological function. I can feel my body moving with breath. So it takes me out of my mind for a moment and my worries and my anxiety. So I'm just putting a call out to all people who are connected to social media and have an avenue to get more distribution, that we need to start talking about how we breathe, how we use our respiratory systems to at least give our body a chance to be somewhat aware of the virus coming in or any other pollutants coming in, and seeing if we can adapt in the best way we can. Not only is the virus in the air, but we know we have pollution levels and we have microplastics in the air. So breathing through your nose is really important to help filter those, which can be filtered because the nose can filter those. So the lungs not only having to do, I don't want to use the word battle, but work with the virus, but we also want them strong and have not as many of the other pollutions and pollutants in there, which also weaken the lungs. So we want to give our lungs the best chance to stay at least healthy from the everyday pollutants by using our nose for breathing. It's a really simple thing. The nose is on the front of our face and is the passageway for the air. And I like to think of it, it is the guardian of the lungs. Our nose can really protect our lungs in a lot of ways. And so you can try that for yourself. just to see quietly in a safe place to breathe through your nose and notice your effort in breathing and your sense of relaxation in your nervous system. And then take a breath in through your mouth and watch what happens, where the breath moves to. You might want to put your hand on your chest and on your stomach and see when you nose breathe where the air goes, what moves first. And when you mouth breathe, what moves first. Most people say when they mouth breathe, it moves up to the chest. And the other thing they notice is when they mouth breathe, they get a little more activated, a little more anxious. And we know that if we run into something really scary, like we see a bear on a hiking path, something, the first big breath we'll take will be like that, and that will put us in alert and fight or flight. So we can pretty much know that when we do that, when we mouth breathe, when we take air in, we're just activating the nervous system, putting a little bit on edge, making it believe that there's actually a threat out there, which there is right now. But we can do ourselves a great service just by that simple fact of just breathing through the nose and out the mouth, and trying to gentle our nervous system as best we can. If you have any other information you'd like, you can contact me at breathablebody.com or look on my YouTube page under the Breathable Body. There are some videos there that are also very helpful. Thank you.